Okay, we can cut it. Okay, welcome to the Anna Seahawk podcast. Today we have Ineke. Or would you like to pronounce your name for us all so that, because I probably got it wrong already, even though I practiced.
My name is Ineke, a very Dutch
Ineke.
name, or you can say In.
In.
Yes.
Okay, In. I might call you that from now on.
That's fine.
In and I started our plasma journeys, our urine therapy journeys, nearly simultaneously. I'm just at a year now, just over a year. And how long? for
I think
yourself?
11 months.
Yeah,
I think I started a month or 1.5 months after you. Yeah.
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 So we've been sharing along the way, of course. And yeah, we're just going to have a candid discussion about that here today. Let's start with favorite enemas. To jump right in.
Yes. Straight in. I started a bit later with enemas. I started, I think, I know because I came back from holiday. I started on the 30th of August of 2022. Yeah, a bit later.
Oh, okay,
yeah, I
okay.
had to get into it.
Yeah.
I first did like the drinking. I started straight with a 3-day plasma, which was the first.
The plasma, 3-day plasma fast?
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
And
how was that for you? Did you have detox symptoms? Or was it pretty smooth?
pretty smooth, except that I felt quite hungry. I have a 4-year-old son, and it was a lot of playing involved. So it was hot by then as well. So
Yeah.
I would like to continue this, but more again when I'm back from holiday. I
The
think
fasting?
Yeah. Not sure how long, but let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my first plasma fast, Lee and I did together, obviously, and it threw both of us into, like, we had a detox symptom, big time. Well, not big time. Some people have really intense stories, but it just really felt like we had the flu for that whole time. And a lot of, like, body aches and stuff like that. However, some old injuries disappeared, which was really bizarre. I had the double radial shortening from a long career of heavy lifting, and then I strained myself in a move, and so I was really feeling incapacitated, actually, by my wrists. And by
In
day
general.
2, and by day 2 on the fast, I was like, what? Like, my wrists were feeling enormously better, and I thought, okay, I don't want to say anything just in case this isn't for real, to jinx it or something. But yeah, it was pretty miraculous. So did you have anything that really changed for you in that 3 days, or it was just like...
I don't really realize, because I think with things you take it easily for granted.
Yeah.
Honestly, like so much. I think little things improve whilst doing like enemas or like drinking your urine, especially morning urine, which I collect until 11 o'clock in the morning. And so I really realized that journaling could help a lot, just to and for example, when I see an interview with other people who do things with urine as well, and plasma, urine plasma, and drinking or rubbing or enemas, and then it reminds me like, oh yes, that's so true. yeah, it's so
when you hear other people's stories, it's like, oh, you don't realize I do have that feeling too.
Yeah, and especially I think the first time when I did an enema, I felt nearly like in a hyper, so much energy after.
Yeah.
Like I thought, act normal. I know I'm normal. I know I'm normal. But I know I was preparing for cooking, like, oh my God, this is like, I have to act normal. Yeah.
Yeah, the enemas are really like that for me too. The
Yeah.
first time that I did one, I was like, I've never actually had a real LSD experience, but how people describe it is how it felt to me. I was just like euphoric, and where did all this
Yes.
energy come from? And
Yes.
you're so, it's like people who suffer depression, I think they could really find something magical here. Yeah, so enemas really quickly became a favorite. And I was actually, Lee and I were watching a podcast of someone talking about how much they loved enemas, and we were like, pause, because they were so like adamant about it that we were like, okay, we have to know what this feels like right now. But yeah, it's a really good way to start the day. And before you do anything, like before you go into town, before you go to the gym, before you do something, I don't know. It's not just, it's funny because it makes you feel happy, but it also really like, there's some magical clarity that it brings.
Yeah, brightness.
Yeah.
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 The thing is that if I didn't have a young baby boy waking up early, I would do it in the morning. And I do it now like around 9 o'clock in the evening.
Oh, okay.
And that works for me as well.
Yeah. Wow, I should try doing evening ones. I haven't really done.
Yeah, and I
them in the
do it
evening.
now like every second day. I started with every day, and then it turned out really cold here.
Yeah.
And yeah, you remember, and then laying on the bathroom floor, that cold was a bit too challenging. So I think I might have stopped maybe just a week or something, and then I continued, and now I really like the every second day. For now, that works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've gone times where I've done them every day, and then I'll like take a break for a little while.
And you did the 32-day plasma fast?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was crazy. And then I really did like I have to go back and look, but really I did an enema nearly every day. I might have missed a day or two in there somewhere, but yeah, that was interesting experience. It really liberates you from this, like, it really shows you what food is. Like, I really felt like, okay, mostly what I'm eating is just out of pure desire.
Yeah.
And there's no need there anymore, or very little. And there was, for the first 10 days, I did plasma only, and then I did some herbal teas and stuff like that. And the moringa tea really helped me with my energy, to keep my energy up.
Yeah.
So maybe when you do your next fast, you can incorporate the moringa leaf tea in there and see if it makes a difference for you.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the things about it. Like, you want to do that heavy detox, but you still have obligations.
Yeah. Yeah, my dream is to have like a week off doing endless journaling and structuring content and being with myself and just being fully on a urine plasma. And that's it, you know? Yeah. That's
Well, yeah, that sounds like
wish.
fun. Yeah, it would be awesome to actually, I mean, that is my dream also, but part of that is to actually have a center for people to come to have that experience.
Yeah.
So
yes.
you, it's
provide
quiet and like the food, for people who want food, or a dynamic menu, and just like that space
Yeah.
to be creative.
I see you totally doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you're perfect for that. Yeah, really.
Thank you.
Yes. Fantastic. Yeah, and now with the boiled plasma.
Boiled plasma, everyone.
Woohoo!
In the Damar Tantra, I was actually, how that came was because it was cold and I wanted to do a foot soak, which foot soaks are also super awesome. And it was cold, so I was just going to warm up the plasma so that I wasn't putting my feet into cold water. And then Lee recommended, he's like, why don't you try boiling it like the Damar Tantra? And I thought, oh, let's do that. And they explicitly say in that book that that is what you use for your skin. And wow, we have not turned back from that decision. It was amazing. The results are just almost instantaneous. And like you were saying earlier when we were chatting, it's like a serum.
Yes.
Yeah. And
I like always when you say like the body just
soaks it up.
It soaks. It's super. It's crazy. And I love it when I do an enema and then in the meanwhile rubbing it in. And sometimes there is not enough time, so I just have a little break, have a little release, and then coming back. And I feel like, for my feet, I mean, during the cold, the weather was very dry, and my heels got really, really cracked. In general, I have interesting feet. They look like a bit like elephant skin. Beautiful shape, but the skin is interesting. And it looks like had more lives or something. But and with this boiled plasma in combination with moringa oil. Whoa.
Yeah, we're on to something here.
Whoa. What else do you need for the rest of your life?
I know, right? It's pretty incredible how many things it actually replaces. And with the foot soaks, it's actually really, when you're saying cracked feet, anybody who works out in the garden, I think you're bound to, at some point, suffer from that. And cold weather too.
Yeah.
Cool, dry weather.
Yeah.
But I was amazed at how quickly.
Yes.
It's like you can do one foot soak. I mean, usually when I have my feet really in a bad state, I would do like my usual scrubbing and a pedicure. I give myself a pedicure, and it like takes some time. But with the plasma, you just soak your feet, and it's like you don't even need to scrub anything off.
Yeah.
It's like you can just rub your feet with your hands.
Yeah.
And it's like the cracks, maybe 3 days if you have some deep cracks. But I mean, something intense, maybe longer, but it's really remarkable how quickly it all
heals.
Comes into. I haven't had a pedicure that matches what my plasma boots give me. I just have a pair of rubber boots. I put my feet in and I glug some plasma into them and just prance around the house doing whatever I need to do. And then dump that out into the garden flower pot watering can when I'm done. And
nice.
Yeah, you feel like you've had a pedicure. Like you feel like you've had like a treatment.
Yes.
And you have.
Yeah.
In fact.
Yeah. And I was amazed, like I had a little injury, like I fell from the steps with the boots, the thing I told you, like with boots which were in a point with my, so my toes were already a bit folded, and I fell off like the boot from the steps from the gym. And so if we have my big toe, then there is like a piece of bone which was always quickly a bit sensitive, but now using the boiled plasma in combination with the moringa oil, I feel like it goes very smooth through phases, which is a healing process.
Yeah.
like doing lunches now is super doable.
Yeah.
Instead of having after pain, or if first it was having during lunches having pain, then after, and now it's actually kind of done.
Wow. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. The long game is interesting in this for sure.
Yeah.
So that's super cool to hear about.
Do you do your hair with it?
I do basically everything with it. There's nothing I really don't use. Plasma and moringa oil are basically the only two things that I
use.
Yeah, and the toothpaste that we make together with the mineral toothpaste with charcoal. But I use I actually have I spray inside my mouth with my boiled plasma, and then I brush my teeth with my toothpaste.
Yeah, I do the toothpaste, and then I add some drops of aged plasma, but as soon as that has finished, I will continue with boiled plasma.
The boiled plasma is sort of a new thing that it's only been how long?
You a bit longer. I think 4 or 5 months already.
Yeah, maybe actually. Time flies.
Yeah.
So because it was still cold then.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's definitely not that anymore. And I use that in my ears. I use it boiled in my ears now, and as a nasal wash. Yeah. Also with a neti pot, or if I don't have a neti pot, then I just
snort it.
Yeah.
Yeah, on a daily basis in the morning. Olaf says, "What's wrong? Are you fine?" Yeah, it's totally fine. Yeah, like you have a partner who is involved, right? My partner is not involved, so which is a bit of a different game, like collecting pee and then having it stored and then having the lids off, and then the smell is fine for me, but then we have like the fan and just usually it goes fine, but I notice when the weather is warm, it definitely might change. I had the boiled plasma with the moringa oil, and then I put it on Dion, our son's feet soles, and then he was really like hiding with his nose in the pillow. Like I was totally fine with that, just like, yes, I'm gonna go.
Continue.
I don't like the taste, like with a toothbrush, yeah. But now there is a new batch, and it's quite, the moringa oil you gave me now is really a kind of a neutral to woody scent. I think that's works well.
Yeah.
Well, let's see how it evolves. Yes.
It's interesting with families, hey? And I feel pretty lucky. Like Leah is very liberal with the plasma application. Like he doesn't go anywhere without his spray bottle. He'll be like downtown, like psh, psh, psh. And sometimes I'm actually a little bit jealous of him. I'm like, geez, I should have brought my spray bottle too. But it gets used a lot around here. So ears, eyes. Oh yeah. Eyes. Yeah. And during the smoke season here, it has been, I haven't as far as breathing goes, I've never had anything work so well for asthma or like any breathing issues that I have. It really, nothing opens your airway like that. If you have a plugged nose, I mean, I just can't even imagine it not working for that.
And I had something in my lungs which totally disappeared by doing like the snorting and putting it in my ears. Big difference. It took a bit, but it totally disappeared. Yeah. Great. Hey.
Yeah. So you use plasma on a daily routine.
Yes. I love routines because it gives a structure and the benefits, and because of the consistency, you can see and experience how it feels, and that's has both sides that I might forget the details, what it brings, But if we talk back like now, like, oh yeah, this is the difference and this is the difference. And it's so easy to use because it's so smooth. It's so moisturizing. It's so clearing and refreshing.
Yeah.
It's really a stimulant. I just look forward using it.
Yeah,
Yes.
right?
Like,
It's not a
yes.
struggle to remember
No.
to do it because
Yeah.
it really gives like results.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I had as well, maybe now it's much better, but even like little tiny bumps coming up.
Yeah.
I was a bit surprised. Like my mom said it as well. Like, it's a bit, but it comes out, right?
Yeah. Well, there's like you're gonna when you start doing plasma and the long game of this, you can have detox symptoms come up
Yeah.
like a year later.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's
And
not
it might
uncommon.
take 2 years, right? The detoxification. That's
Yeah,
very
and
common, or longer. Yeah.
Yeah, some people even say longer, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's like a good standard to go by for sure.
Yeah.
And so the plasma is really like just the most gentle way to. I really feel for myself. It's like deep tissue and organ detoxing.
Yes.
And not just detoxing, but also like a rebuilding that's happening
Yes.
also.
Yes.
So, yeah, I haven't used any. The results on the skin are pretty incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, you really see it in each other. Hey?
Yeah, I look at your
Over
skin
the
and
last
like,
year, it's been
fantastic.
crazy.
Yeah.
And when you say like you have some things like express themselves, but at the same time, there's like these old things that also are disappearing. Like I have these red spots. I don't know what you call these. Do you know what they are? It's like a red.
Like a jumpy vein or something. Tiny
No,
hair
it's like
vein.
it's not a. I don't know
No.
if it's a vein, and the hair isn't there, but it's like a red spot. Like sometimes people get them on their.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not a mole. It's not that, but actually also those like sun damage.
Right.
There's a lot of that, but these red spots that I
Yeah.
have on my legs
Yeah.
are
I believe.
starting to disappear.
Yeah.
And skin tags. My mom had 2 skin tags that, well, actually the moringa really helped with that, but the plasma puts it to a whole new level. And cuts and stuff like that. It's just, and my nails are growing a lot. Like I'm constantly feel like I'm cutting my nails.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
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 Probably the least that I've done on like been really diligent about is the eye drops.
Me too. Yeah.
So
Could do that.
yeah, that could be interesting.
You mean just really in the corner of the eye and then just a drop? Like,
Yeah. But I'm not really, I don't know. I mean, when I'm spraying in the bathroom, I'm getting that. And
Yeah.
when I boil my plasma, it's not a rapid boil. I do like it's basically like a low simmer. And when I'm doing that, when I'm doing mine, I'll take a towel out there and drape it over the pot and
For 4 hours.
and for a few from time to time along the process, and I'll really like breathe in through my nose and exhale through my mouth, and then I'll inhale through my nose and exhale
Yeah.
through my nose,
Yeah.
and like purposefully have my eyes open and like let that steam come in there.
How often do you boil?
I've had boiled 4 times now.
All right.
Yeah. And I
Over a
like,
period of.
I guess once a month, maybe,
Okay.
roughly, that I've
Right.
done that.
Right.
I need to journal better.
Me too. We can do this better. I can do this better. Yeah.
So, but I love how that feels. And for respiratory stuff, it just, I don't know, you feel like so clean and clear after you do that. It's really nice. And even if you don't want to, like, you don't have to do a whole big pot. Some people have vaporizers
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
nebulizer.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they've put it in their nebulizer to
Yeah.
breathe it in, and they love doing that.
Yeah.
But you could just have like a little bit in a small pot and just get it steaming.
Yeah.
And do a little, like a, which I haven't done. I've only just done it when I've been boiling.
Yeah.
And actually, one of the other things that I loved the experience of, which I haven't done often because I don't have a bathtub here, so I had to do like a farmer's bath, and got a nice big vat of warm water, and then put however much aged plasma in there that you really want to. There's people that do it straight up, the whole bath aged plasma.
Whoa, then you have collected a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, they keep it, and they'll do it like they'll go into their, like, it's kind of like going into the Japanese steam bath. You have it, you're clean when you go in. You have a bath, you have a shower, and you get yourself clean, and then you go into your plasma bath, because you don't want to dump that out.
No.
You want to reuse that again and again. And I had a really crazy, like, emotional release from that. Plasma is in the amniotic fluid. It's actually what most of the amniotic fluid is. Yeah. And so we were breathing that when we were in our mother's womb. Yeah. And when you immerse yourself back into that, some people have crazy stories with this experience.
Oh, but yeah.
So it's like being back in the womb again. Yes. It's like a therapy for some people to heal if they have, I think for women who have had difficult births, like been through having a difficult birth with their child, but also for the child who's had the difficult birth it's a real healing experience. I was not expecting it, and I hadn't even heard of anybody having experiences like that. It just was like this spontaneous thing, and then later I found out that yes, for sure, this is a reoccurring thing for people. Yeah,
beautiful.
So that was really cool, and I love doing the plasma baths, but I haven't done them often, maybe 3 times. But
I just pee in the bath.
Yeah, actually, when we were in Montreal, I was having a bath there, and the water is like felt so chlorinated that I was like, it was just an intuitive thing. Right. And I peed in the bath, and like, this is years ago, and it felt better. I was like, wow, this whole water feels better. And I actually told Lee about that, and he's like, you did what? Gross. And now we're like,
please pee on me.
Practically. It's practically like that.
Just release and enjoy. Yes.
So I've been using the anything topical. I've been using the boiled now. I was using we'll call it evolved. Some people call it aged, but it's really like it feels more like an evolution. As it ages, you have all this stem cell production, and all of this crazy stuff happens with your plasma when you let it sit. I used to use that on my hair and stuff, but it felt drying, actually, and I think it's because of the ammonia in there, which is also why it's fantastic for doing your laundry and
cleaning your toilet.
Yeah, which is so crazy to say that, right? Like, what do you use to clean your toilet? Oh, aged or evolved plasma, of course. But for laundry, it's amazing. So I lost my thread. Oh, right. So for the skin, I was using it for my hair and all that jazz, but it felt drying. Yeah. And now the boiled feels so much better, and I don't really have to use it very much, actually. Like, I don't know, because when I'm putting it on my hands and I'm putting it on my face, and then when I get out of the shower, I'm running my hands through my hair. It's like you're always getting a little bit in there, so it's not very often that I really do a big
Yeah,
soap.
exactly. Okay.
Yeah, the spray bottle is like my
Yeah.
best friend in the shower. And usually what I'll do is I'll rinse off. Like if I'm going for my full spa mode, then I'll go in the shower, I'll rinse off, and then I'll get my aged plasma and it's my spray bottle and like really saturate my hair and run my hands through my hair and face and my whole body, and then I'll get my body brush out
Oh, wow.
and then just like buff. You're basically like buffing your skin.
Yeah.
And if any spot dries before I get to it, I'll just spray again
Yeah.
and just keep doing that buffing and rinsing out my little scrubber and buffing and rinsing it out and
Yeah.
that process. But and I probably do that, well, depends on what's going on and how much time I have.
Yeah.
But you feel like you're glowing when you're finished with that. It feels so good. What's one of the, like when you're going full out and you have some time, what's your sort of favorite thing to do?
Yeah, then I like I do the enema and some exercises to keep the enema deeper in, like some
good one.
massage, like anti-clock, and then the like the upward yoga stand, and then the legs in the neck.
Right.
Yeah, and then I do like
inversion exercises.
Inversion exercises, yeah. And then I do like the rubbing in with the boil plasma, which I really start off at my face, and because I like to do like in the morning, like the snorting. I felt like it woke me too much up in the evening. Like, whoa, pineal gland, woohoo. And maybe, I'm not sure about this yet, but so I'm kind of still experimenting. Let's keep it playful, right? So that's the joy
one
of it.
Cool thing about it is like there's so many possibilities.
Yes, it can always evolve and change, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I like, the enema, and then doing my whole body rub, and then I rinse it off, because before I did quite a few times that I just left it, but then I woke up in the night like, whoa, whoa, but not even like gross or something, but more like, oh, I was really, that woke me up maybe. Yeah, so I started to shower it off, and it's nice to have a cold shower in these times, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm using more in the hot weather because showering more with the hot weather. So using more.
And then I always do usually like the moringa oil mixed with the boiled for my face, neck, and décolleté, and my feet. And I do this twice a day, in the morning and the evening.
Good job.
Yes. So I like routines, playful routines, because it works out well, and I like consistency because I'm interested in processes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So but the long one is what I just said, enema and rubbing in total the body, and then shower off.
Yeah. Good point with the abdominal massage and doing some inversion when you do the enema. And if you can't, as far as holding goes, sometimes is a big range there, hey? Sometimes it's very fast and sometimes you can really keep it for quite a while. And the younger, if you want to keep it, you can just do a young.
Peasy. Yeah. But the aged?
Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
If you have a blockage, and actually when we went out to meet you at the pool, and I ordered this ridiculous thing that had all of this MSG sauce on it, and my stomach was like not happy with me. And when
the
I
vegetables?
And it's funny, hey, the vegetables. And when I got home, I was just like, which is why we came home so fast. I was like, okay, I need to do an enema. Like,
yes,
this has to happen now. But it's incredible how quickly it really helps you, and so the more evolved it is, or the more aged it is, the less you're likely to retain it, and it can be quite short.
Yeah.
But we can blend. I do a lot of blending.
Me too. That's what I was just about saying. Like I I like to collect the morning pee until 11 because of all the detoxification going on, all these great nutrients in the pee, and then I have like that bottle, that rainbow bottle, sauce bottle, and which is the enema. Thanks to Anna, great advice. The real enema, the kit is still awaiting. And so half of it is like morning plasma, which has evolved because, as I told you, I do it in the evening.
Right.
And then I add like half of it aged plasma. So I do a full bottle. Most of it goes in, and I really lay on my belly. And I have coconut oil to put on my anus, and then I can really squeeze it in.
Yes.
And then that has like about 3 squeezes. When I squeeze it in, I breathe out. And that works really well because in the beginning there were some funny incidents, like not getting in well.
Yeah, there can be a lot of spillage, and it can be a bit messy when you first are experimenting with, especially if you've hacked together your enema kit, which we have done here. It's amazing to go to the pharmacy and not have an enema kit. I'm like, what? Yeah. How do you not, as a pharmacy, not have an enema kit?
I didn't tell you, but I went there then, long months ago, and she said, yeah, we have it, but I don't know where we keep it.
Oh,
so and
handy.
then I said, oh, I will come back, which I never did actually. Yeah.
So I do, and sometimes, well, we're not drinking coffee anymore, but I actually would sometimes put a little bit of coffee in. Have you ever done that?
No, but I still have like the green coffee awaiting. Yeah.
So I found, interestingly enough, that whenever I put a little bit of coffee in, that my body just took it in easier. I don't know why. And there's something special about coffee. Coffee enemas really help you to detox.
Because of the liver, like
your liver and gallbladder. I can't remember exactly.
Something to search on.
I have the info for that. I'll send it to you. I just can't remember off the top of my head right now. And it's like it was a way where, at the time, we used that. And again, this time actually, if you want to go off coffee, and coffee enemas with the plasma are a great combo to wean yourself off coffee and not suffer from headaches while you're doing that. But and the abdominal massages and stuff like that, inversions, like those are a really good idea to include, especially if you can do if you're feeling like you can do a longer hold. Also, and I just remembered because I saw my singing bowl on the shelf here, sometimes I'll do that too. When I'm laying down, I'll put my singing bowl on my chest and chime it, and wow, can you feel that vibration go through to your bowels? Because something about plasma and the vibration there is like super interesting. You really feel it in your guts. You really feel that vibration go deep into your body. Pretty crazy. So, but it can also really spur things along faster. Sometimes when I chime in, I'm like, whoa, like you just feel it deeply like that. But when you first, when your body is taking in the enema, I get this like tingling sensation come like down my thighs and up into my abdomen. Like, do you feel that? Do you feel this like belly, tingling, like warming or tingling sensation?
Kind of flow.
Yeah, it's like a rush or something.
Yeah, nice feeling sensation.
Yeah, it actually, I mean, this is interesting. It kind of, when I first felt it, it actually reminded me of when I was nursing my son and that kind of letting down that you get from the breast. Did you ever
I have to think about this.
I don't know. Like, there's something about that. It's like this, I don't know. Something about that energy movement, that of release. Yeah. Even though it's going in, there's some kind of like that same sort of energetic flow
Yeah.
is happening.
Yeah.
It reminded me of that, like almost instantly when I was doing it. I was like, wow, where does that memory? That's an interesting connection.
Yeah.
But
Maybe the connection in the connections is like starting like a whole like flow. Like
yeah.
things are getting connected again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your dreams, did you notice your dreams coming more vivid since
Yeah,
you
now
started?
they come. I think since about a week or something. It's very interesting. Yeah, I haven't turned my thoughts or wrapped my thoughts around it really yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was definitely like that for me. Like my dreams like lit back up again once I started doing
Yeah.
plasma. But we were pretty hardcore. Like we just dove in. Like, well, same with you, really doing, when you start with a 3-day fast, that's something.
Yeah, I mean it's funny. I mean it's the type of personality, and I think you can. Some people start with. My mom does drops on her tongue, right? And just do how it feels.
Yeah, whatever is comfortable.
Yeah, whatever feels.
That's what I say
fine
to
for
my
you.
friends that are just totally put off by drinking it. I'm like, drink it through your feet or drink it up your bum.
Yeah.
You know? Like just
Drink it up your bum.
get it in
That's
you
a nice
somehow.
one. No, I'm a drink it up your bum. Yeah.
Some of the largest pores in our body are actually in our feet. So, yeah, it matters what you're walking on.
Yeah.
These barefooters that would go like downtown Georgetown when I was living there, I was like, ooh, on pavement. You know, if you put, for a great way to sort of feel this, and maybe it's not like this for everyone, but if you do a garlic rub on your feet, you'll be surprised.
Yeah.
You'll be surprised.
Yeah. And it's a good way to experience that yet your skin is your biggest organ, right?
Yeah, we forget that.
Next to your liver, the second. Yeah, and it's so you can basically put only things on your skin what you can eat, right? And
yeah.
for me, I remember like putting all sorts of regular cream on my body and later
Oh my
realizing
gosh.
like, oh yeah, this can be different. So that's why I use oils, right? And especially now the moringa oil and the boya plasma, I think.
The plasma really makes you aware of that, you know, when the food part, because that is like, it's like drinking a hologram of yourself. That's how I really describe it. And so you have a whole new connection to your food, and you just care more about what you're eating
Automatically.
because you're going to have it a second time.
Yes.
And there's a lot of information there. So if you don't like how your plasma tastes, you can do something about that.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's so cool, right? You can really do something about it.
Yeah.
And that's fine. You know, you can adjust and it's fine.
And you'll feel better.
Yes.
It'll taste better and you'll feel better.
Yeah.
It's like the mechanism is there. This uropathy, urine therapy, this the Dharma Tantra, this is the mother of Ayurveda.
Yeah.
This is where it came from. So that's how they learned which herbs worked.
Yeah.
Is because they were using the feedback mechanism. I don't know how you'd really sort it out otherwise, because it's so obvious once you start.
Yes.
And when we do like a coconut water or doing this is a water kefir that we're having today. That's an interesting blend because we can get fresh pressed sugarcane juice here. And so I just have my water kefir grains in my bottle, and then she puts the fresh sugarcane juice directly into there. So there's no transportation time. It's like starting. And drinking that, and the way the plasma tastes afterwards, I'm like, wow, like it tastes like an electrolyte drink. It doesn't even taste like,
it's fantastic.
I'm surprised at how wonderful
Yeah.
it can taste.
Yeah.
And so there's no need to, if you're put off by it, then just do
A mix.
or do like a day of juice fast.
Oh yeah.
It actually, you don't even need to do a day. Like a day is a long time. In, I don't know, 15 minutes, I'm sure you're gonna feel I mean, that's what it's like for me. It doesn't take long for it to show up in your plasma, which is also another really remarkable discovery of how quickly things affect your body.
Oh yeah.
It shows up right away.
Yeah.
And there's a whole other side of this with insect bites and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's
The
endless.
antidote is
Yeah.
in your plasma. So
Yeah.
you get stung by the bee or
Yeah.
the spider or the whatever it might be. And if you drink your plasma after that,
Yeah.
you have the antidote
Yeah.
there. It's there within moments, really. So I actually sip cycle almost all the very rarely do I not. Like I'll throughout the whole day I'll drink my early
Sorry.
morning
I don't know
plasma.
if some. Yeah, sorry. I think. Yeah.
Sure, we can wrap it up. Do you want to wrap it up?
Not important.
Okay. So I actually sip cycle through the whole day. I'll drink my early morning plasma, but through the day, I'll sip cycle because I just want to know. I want to know what that food, I want to know the feedback from what I'm eating
Yes.
and how that tastes. And also for our own diet, it's really helped me to see what things really work for us, and I don't know, it's like I feel like I'm building a menu for plasma cyclers
Yes.
because we're all similar in a lot of ways. Like beer, I'm sure beer is going to taste the same for a lot of people. Yeah, we could take a little break.
I mean, you don't have to come back, but you can.
Yeah, do you want to just take...
Say goodbye.
Yeah, okay, we're going to wrap it up. We might be back. I'm going to top up my drink. We'll see what happens. And thanks for watching.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes,
Yeah, thank you for the exchange. Super nice.
Thank you, everyone.
Mwah.